and welcome to this week's YouTube vlog, and I hope we're all okay. As always, thanks for everyone that subscribed last week. We love a new subscriber, so thank you and welcome. And also the comments we had last week, we had some absolutely great comments as always, so again, thank you very much for that. Moving quickly on to this week's vlog, I'm going to take you to a Grant boiler. This is the Grant that's blown fuse. This is the Combi external blue flames. So it's something that I actually am aware of. I went to in February. There was a water leak on the cold main into the heat exchanger for the Combi side. It wasn't going on properly. It wasn't square. Apparently other people had to go at it before, so I recommended that a new pipe was fitted and then it would fix the problem. Move on from February to July where we are now, and clearly it must have leaked absolutely everywhere. So that's the mess we're going to deal with. That's where we're going. I'm off to pick Isabella because she's recording it. So let's just get on with it. Let's get on with this week's YouTube vlog. And we're here. Turn around, Isabel. We have water there, and coming out the boiler. And yeah, the gentleman says it's blown fuses, so obviously we need to look at why it's doing that. And if you come around here, Isabel, I think it's a bit obvious. We have a little leak out this orifice here, and it's obviously leaked onto this bag and probably filled it up with water there, and it's gone bang. That's what it'd be. And it actually, oh, brilliant. Okay, we are aware of this because in February we quoted to do this, and the customers left it. Right, so I'm going to strip the top off and we're going to get in here, Isabel, and we'll be back, won't we?
Yes.
We will. Okay, here we go. So I've got the top of the boiler, as you can see here, Isabel. We're going to isolate the cold feed here in a second, which, well, I've tried it once and it actually stopped the leak. Just to go to regulations, I've told them before, look here, you've got a plastic tiger loop here, it should be metal now, and it's right near a drain, so if that was to leak, it goes straight down the drain. Not the best place to have a tiger loop, that. This is still just flopping and hanging. It's, yeah, not the best install we've seen, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, we're not here to judge that. So if we come round to the front here, what we have noticed is that behind the insulation, it's very, very heavily corroded here. So what's happened is, obviously from the leaks and that in the past, it's ended up corroding. We have no pressure in here at the moment, and as you can see from this down here, this clearly is on the main side. So we are going to pressurise it and check that first, which is what I'm going to do now, just to see what happens. I'm just going to put some water in up there, look. We'll put it up to about 1.5 bar. Okay, so as you can see, I'll turn this off here. Perfect. Okay, so I can't see anything coming out there at the moment. So obviously it's okay now. It's just where it's... Is it wet down there? No, it's absolutely fine there. So you can't see any physical leaks at the moment. Okay, there's a reason. It sounds like this might be full up actually. I might have to check that, which we'll do up here. Right, that's got 0 air in it, so we need to look into that as well. There's a fault with that expansion vessel as well. Okay, so we're going to come back to here. There's no leaks here. I'm going to have a chat with the customer because the trouble is to change this pipe. We're not worried about this leaking, by the way. I'll turn it off now because clearly that's already blown because this is full of water and it's full of water in there, so it doesn't matter if it spills on here because it's outside. We will have a chat with the customer first because at the end of the day it's going to need this pipe because it's corroded. It's probably going to need this here because it's all corroding on here, but we're going to see if that's just surface or it's to do with the exchanger. That's broken there, which is your mixer valve there. It might not necessarily be leaking, so I will look in and I will check that. However, you've got the corrosion, so what we don't want to do is we might end up having to have this pipe at 80-90 pounds. This is over 100 pounds. You might end up with a mixer potentially which is like 60 pounds. They're over 100 pounds, and then you do all that, they get a 600-700 pound bill, and then that leaks. Okay, so we are going to have a conversation with them now. When we've done that, we'll be back. Okay, so we've spoke to the customer, and the customer is happy for us to repair it. Okay, so that's fine, we're going to repair it, but I'll be honest, I'm a bit dubious because it is really, really rotten, but it's not my money at the end of the day, so there we go. Okay, so we come back around here, Isabel. You'll notice also we need to sort of fill in loop out because it's not that it's leaking. We have a leak coming out of here as well now. Okay, so we've obviously got an issue here, so what we're going to have to do is strip this part down, take that and inspect that, sort that out, which I think is going to be a nightmare because it looks very, very corroded in there, and then a new filling loop kit. That's what we're going to do. So what do we do first, Isabel? What do you reckon? What do you reckon we do
no
first?
idea.
Okay, what we do
Say a
first is we
prayer.
drain it. So the best way and quickest way to drain it is to literally nip the filling loop off down here, because I never used to use isolation valves, so I nip the filling loop off here. And then I'm going to put my drain hose on, which is one with a filling loop, which is here behind us, like so. That's going to go on there. I'm going to drain it. Once we've drained it, we'll be back. Okay, so we've got it drained. Come around here, Isabel. We're going to take the exchanger out first. People ask me what are all the tools I use when I do these, and to be honest with you, there is special tools I use. I use certain size spanners for certain things, but on something like this, especially when it's all wet, I'll just literally use a pair of adjustable spanners. So this is the first one we're going to undo here. Now you're probably saying, oh, it wasn't tight, that's why it's leaking. No, the thread's gone. You can just keep turning it and turning it and turning it. Okay, so that's half your battle there. So we're just going to undo this one first, which is nice and straightforward. This is your mains in, this one very clearly. Okay, so we're going to undo that. It's not actually undoing very well. And it doesn't matter that we're dripping water, because basically that's all had it anyway, so we can sort it out. So I'm in a really, really good position here. Okay, we're going to undo this one here. This is the one that had the exchanger into it. And this is what heat C plate heat exchanger. It's very tight, pair of grips on there. Make sure if you do it with grips, you get them in a good place first before you actually undo it. Okay, if you don't, you are going to ruin it. I've literally used them just to nip it undone, and then after that, I will do it with a spanner. Okay, you can hear that hissing because it's obviously putting it down there. That's not a problem at all. We're now going to undo this top nut here on the exchanger. I'm not bothered it's going to lose all the water because I'm going to give it a total refill with some inhibitor. So we just undo that like so. I'm just going to put the filling loop out, not the filling loop, the expansion vessel out of the way to make life a bit easier. Crikey. That. It's full of water, so we need to look at that, which we'll do in a second. Okay, the reason I've got that out of the way is because when you undo this, we're just going to put that in there just in case. Where's their glove? Hang on, sorry, I'm in front of the camera, everybody. There's no need to take the burner out of the way on this because I don't think we're going to get it wet. Just put that over there in case on the air intake. Okay, so we're going to undo this. Then we're going to spin that out the way. If you spin it up there, you don't get any leaks. If you leave it, it just keeps dripping and dripping and dripping. That's the best way. Okay, so that's now off there as well. We've got two left. We've got this one at the back that I'm hoping again I can just stick my adjustable on this occasion. There we go. And before I undo that, again, I'm going to keep reiterating this. This has had it. I would normally, obviously, come in there, put something, hide it, catch it, but I don't need to do that. Okay, so to get to one at the back, you can normally just get an adjustable on, and people are like, how do you do that? And I'm like, it's not actually very hard. As long as you get this top one out of the way, you can just get in there and undo it normally, like so. So I'm just going to get on there now. It's a dribble of this one, isn't it, Isabel?
Yeah.
Just get the adjustable on there and just give it, hopefully. No, that's not going to do. Okay, so that one's going to be a bit problematic, I think. Okay, so before we get onto that one, we're going to take this pipe here out of the way, the cold pipe, because this is the one we're changing. So the cold inlet is here, which we're going to undo. Like so. Okay, I'm just going to undo, so that's the cold, this is the hot side in here. So basically the cold goes into the bottom of this exchanger, it's then heated in the plate heat exchanger and it comes out here. So you have cold coming in one side of the mixer, hot coming in the other side, and then the mixed water obviously goes up and that's what comes through your taps. Now this is a little bit more corroded here because very clearly it's been leaking onto it, but that's come undone absolutely fine. If you're using adjustables like me, be very careful. If you feel it's starting to slip, i.e. it's not going, don't keep going. Use really good quality grips or use a spanner and do it properly. They're the best tips I can give you there, because once you've rounded this off, you're going to give yourself a world of issues. Secondly, sometimes these do corrode a lot, so you have to warm them up slightly. The problem is if you warm them up too much, they're just an aluminium style nut, they just shatter. Okay, so you've got to be careful with that. So there we go, that is the mixer valve with the pipe out there. Okay, this can just dribble. I'm not bothered about this dribbling, it's what's coming from the tap. That's absolutely fine. So we've just got to now get up the top here, Isabel, look, come up to the top. We're going to take the flow switch out, take note which way round it goes. I know which way round it goes, so that's good. As you can see here, it would actually go like that. So when the flow of water comes from this way, it pushes it. When it turns off, it let goes and releases. We're going to just undo that there. And then we should be able to get that pipe out. So just a pair of grips on here. It can be a bit fiddly. Spanner on here. It looks like I'm struggling, I'm not, I'm feeling it to undo. I don't want to go crazy on it. That's why I'm using a very small pair of adjustable spanners. Okay, I've never quite seen so much water coming out the bottom of a boiler like that, Isabel. Clearly, if that is inside a house or the circulator pump was there, we wouldn't be doing it like that. I know I keep saying that, but I'm going to keep repeating myself on that in case you come in the video halfway through and think like I'm just out for a laugh. Okay, so that's this crazy pipe here. We're going to pop that out of the way. Gone. So we've just got this one at the back. Now this looks quite heavily corroded. So again, I'm going to get a pair of grips first. I'm going to make sure they grip in the right place. I'm going to grip it hard. And it doesn't move. I might have to give that a bit of heat. So what I'm going to need to do now, before I put any heat in here, because of where it is, I'm going to, if you follow it up here, Isabel, it's just this nut here and this nut here. I'm going to undo them too. I'm going to pop it out the way. I'm going to turn that isolator off as well. And then we're going to take it out and we're going to warm it up and do it. All right, brilliant.
Okay.
Be back. Okay, so as you can tell, we're in the van. Okay, so we have stripped that last bit out, which I said about. And I literally can't get it undone. And I want to put some heat on it. I could do it there, but the blowtorch I've got there is, or the blowtorch on my van has got far too much heat on it. I don't want to be doing that. I want to give it more of a gentle flame. And my other blowtorch is at the farm, the units. That's where we're going to go now. So we just got a little quick drive. A little quick drive? What's one of them? We just got a quick drive, and we'll get there and we'll warm it up and hopefully be able to undo it. The problem with these nuts is if you can't undo it and you overheat them, they just crack them round and break. Okay, so I'm fully expecting it to break, but we're hoping it's not gonna. We're hoping to save the day. Essentially, these people have just told us they want to leave it as it is and do as much as they can to keep it going because they're going to go to ground source. Boo! That's what they're going to do. But that's if they want to spend all their money on that and not have a Sapphire Combi fully modulating boiler, which is out soon in September-ish, I want to say. Make sure you buy one. Then obviously they can have their ground source. It's fine. Anyway, Isabel, let's get off and let's concentrate on driving, shall we?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so I haven't showed you warming it up because there's so much noise going on around here because we've been getting rid of old tanks and stuff like that. But as you can see, I've got it undone there with a bit of heat. It was corroded on, look. The problem is that we haven't got one of these pipes. This looks a bit mank now, this, but it actually does still go on. It's absolutely fine. Okay, because I say this guy's probably going to get rid of it, so we'll be able to seal it on there okay, which is good for temporary. If we find we get a problem, then we're just going to have to get that pipe. We haven't got that one, where we do have the water inlet pipe. So we're going to go back now, aren't we, Isabel? We're going to go and fit it all once we've eaten. So we'll see you in a bit. The problem we've had is, unfortunately, I couldn't show it because there's so much noise going on. As you can see, Ryan and Jack are processing old tanks. Okay, because they have to be cut in half and processed before we can get rid of them, so they're doing that at the moment. So yeah, it's a bit annoying because I'd like to have shown that, but there's so much noise I just couldn't even have explained what I was doing. So we're pleased, we'll take it. We've managed to get that off there. As I say, it's slightly rounded, but there's not a lot I can do about that. The most important thing is that we try and get the boiler up and running. Unfortunately, the customer has got their parents coming round later, so yeah, we have actually got to get it going, which is a bit of a nightmare. So let's just wave goodbye. Bye 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 bye. Like that. That's brilliant. And yeah, let's drive all the way back again, Isabel. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back. We're going to change that. We'll check that shortly. Okay, we're just going to do the pump now. While we've got it here in pieces and we've got loads of room, we're just going to do the pump. There's no need to turn any pump valves off or drain it because you can see it's already drained. Okay, that is going to be changed. That's fine. Well, let's see if we can undo this. It's looking pretty corroded to me, so this will be very interesting. Yep, that one's gone. That's good. And then we've just got the one on the bottom. Here we go. So as you can see by the state of that, the system is absolutely full of water, full of dirty water anyway. Okay, this is all. So for those people who didn't know, these clip off the top. I didn't know that. That is brilliant. That literally just unclips and goes in there. So if you ever have a fault on one of these and it's this, you must just be able to change this bit. And that. How good's that, Isabel?
That's very good.
That's really good, isn't it? Okay, so that will sort out and change in a minute. Okay, there is a non-return valve in there, which is really important. I am going to change that because normally what happens is if you don't, you get a problem. Okay, so we'll be back in a minute. We're just putting some Loctite string stuff on here, like so. So this has changed slightly now, this repair. So as you can see there, by the way, that come out like that as a funny lump, and then we ended up with this bit we had to take out separately, which quite often happens. It's changed slightly now, so the customer's now thinking about actually having a new boiler. So we're going to just try and get it going. Unfortunately, we're still going to have to put quite a few bits on it, but at least we can, you know, get them out of trouble until we fit the new boiler. It might even be a Sapphire combi boiler. Have you heard of them, Isabel? They're new out.
I have.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, I'm just going to wind this in here, and then I'm going to put the circulating pump back on, which you don't have to watch me do that because you've seen me do that before. So just go over to here, Isabel. This is the non-return valve I was talking about. Okay, basically, if they fail, then in the summertime when the hot water's on, it creeps to the heating. So it warms the heating up. Never get caught out. So that will cause it to warm up via the return into the heating. And the one on the top of the boiler, if it fails, causes the heating to warm up on the flow. That's just how it works. Right, let's put this little bit back together and we'll come back. Okay, here's the new plate heat exchanger here, because as you know, the other one was rotted out. That's going to go back in here. I've got the pipe shine up there as well. The new pipe's in place now. It's going to go up there when it's all finished, so we're going to put that in. But the first thing we're going to do is put the old pipe in, which is behind you, Isabel. Is it? No, here it is. We're going to plonk that back in place where it come from, which is up here. So we're just going to stick that back. A bit, or can be a bit fiddly. I've got to go that side. It's all very, very tight, this, because it's just all so corroded. Okay, so I'm just going to do them up and I'll be back. Okay, so we're just going to pop this back. So this doesn't actually leak, it's where all the water come by it, and there's no scale in that part there either. So because the boiler's now going to be changed, we're just going to put this back in place and make sure that it's okay. So we're just going to nip this off here. It's just a bit of washer, that's it. That's dead flat and fine. So we're going to pop that up behind here and through. And what we're going to do is we're just going to nip the one up at the top at the moment. So we're doing it all in reverse order basically. So as I keep saying, it's so, everything's so corroded, it's just all a little bit tight. The thing about Grant combis is you have to keep on top of them, otherwise you just get all these leaks all the time. It's an absolute nightmare. I know that's upside down the pump for them smart people out there, but I'm going to sort that out in a minute. Right, okay, let's put this exchanger back, which is a little bit fiddly. Right, so you've got your top hat set. It used to be that it was fibre washers, but they were absolutely rubbish. Now you just use these top hat sets. You don't need all of them. We'll do this fiddly one first. So we're going to have a bit of trouble with this, but it should be absolutely fine. Right, so we're going to stick that up there. No, we're not going to drop it. Okay, so that's starting to go on there absolutely fine, which is good, because I was a little bit worried about that, to be fair. Okay, so we're just going to give that a little nip. I can't really use adjustables on this anymore, because as I say, we had to use grips on it to get it undone. As long as it doesn't leak and that holds for a month or so until we come back and do the boiler, then we'll be okay. Right, we'll leave that there for a second. That needs to go round there. That needs to go around there. That needs to go on there. Okay, I've got everything stuck here, Isabel. We're going to pretend that we're cool and we're just excellent and we know what we're doing, but I'm going to spend the next hour moaning at this, whinging what a nightmare they are and how you cut your hands open, and then when it's all back together, it's going to be bish bash bosh, and it's going to look like we've made it really easy, isn't it? Yeah. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and I'm back. Oh, that's so easy, wasn't it, Isabel? So easy. Blimey, yeah, that was probably the easiest one I've ever done. It wasn't tight, it wasn't fiddly. I've done so many of these before that have been really easy, but of course this was the easiest. Is that enough? Yeah, in fact I actually did it with my eyes closed. Nightmare. Right, okay, so we have got the exchanger in and done up. We have got everything done up the top. We've got your new water supply pipe in, that's all done. The pump's in. I'm just going to change the head over now. Okay, so it's another way around. We're just going to put this filling loop on, like so. I always give these a little nip just in case they let by. I know you're supposed to take them off, but it's just had a little nip. There you go. Okay, the other thing we've got to discuss now is that the wire's behind there, but clearly we can undo that and pull it out in a minute. But that is going to be too short to go under there. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to get a new bit of wire and just wire it in a bit longer now to make it a little bit easier so it fits. I'm just going to change the pump over and spin it around the other way so that's all in the right place. And then we've just got to put the, well, we'll do that now actually. We'll put the flow switch back in. It's the same flow switch here that's going in because this one isn't very old, as you can see. So like I said before, it goes that way for flow and that way for off. So we're just going to plonk it in the hole like so. And the thing about these is you never do them up tight. If you do them up tight, then it basically hits the bottom, the bit of plastic, and then it won't work. So we're just going to put that on there. Like so. So it faces down the line, which is like that. That's it. That only has to be that tight. That will not leak. That's as simple as that. Okay, so we're just going to swap the pump over now. I'm waiting for Ryan to come with the plug for this pump as well, because unfortunately there's not one in the kit. I've got no idea why. So to swap it over, it's just really, really simple. It's just Allen keys. We've just done 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and spin it round. Once I've done that, because you don't want to watch me doing that, I'll be back. And I'm back. Right, okay, so we're all ready now. All we've got left to do is this expansion vessel, because with this expansion vessel, it's very heavy, so I think it's full of water. Okay, so we're just going to take the serration valve cap off here. We're going to push inside, and basically it's going in and out. No water's coming out, but no air's coming out either. So I don't suspect that there's a problem with the diaphragm inside or the balloon inside. I think it just wants pressurising. Now to do that, in this case, what I'm going to do, because the boiler's already drained, is I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to take it off out the way, and I'm going to put my machine on here, and I'm going to pump it up to 1 bar, and I'm going to put it back together. I will show you how to do this on the short that we've actually released on Thursday, I believe, this week. So if you want to look just here, or just there, that is the QR code. Okay, so you can have a little look at that. We'll be back in a flash. Okay, this is back together. Hopefully you've looked at the YouTube short by us. As you can hear, it's absolutely fine now. Okay, so basically I'm just going to fill it up. I've turned the mains back onto it, on top of the isolator, and we're going to see what happens. This will take a while because it was totally and utterly empty, so we're going to have to be a bit patient with it. As I say, we're waiting for the plug for Ryan, from Ryan even. He'll be here shortly, and we're just going to undo some auto air vents now, and hopefully it will start to do something in a minute. That's the aim anyway, so it's just a case of waiting now. Hopefully we won't get any leaks on here, because if we do, I might just cry with all the trouble we've had there, Isabel. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yes, absolute. All right, then we'll be back when we've got some pressure in it, and we'll tell you if we've got any leaks. Okay, so this is where we are. We've got it up to just over a bar of pressure, and we've got no leaks. That's the good news. Jack and Ryan have now joined us because they're obviously loiterers. Say hello, Jack. Point to Jack. Say hello, Jack. Loiterer number 1 and
hello.
A hero number 2, because he brought the plug for the circulator pump. So when we've done it all, unfortunately we turned the power back onto it. We'd got power inside the house, but unfortunately outside the house we'd got nothing, and that's basically because the 6.3 amp fuse had gone. There's a quick blow. So for people who don't know, come around here, Isabel, inside here you've got the fuse board here, and just there is, under there is where the quick blow fuse is, which is said is 6.3. Alright, so we're just going to pop that back now. I've changed it. We're going to put that back to there, and as you can see, burners on, demands on, power's on, the domestic hot water pump's on. Clearly I haven't connected the burner yet, as you can see, because I'm just waiting for it to circulate correctly. So when it starts circulating, we'll power it up and we'll be back. Okay, so it is running, as we can see. We've now got to wait about 20 minutes for the water side to warm up properly and satisfy. Once it's satisfied, then we'll check the heating and make sure that that works. But we are expecting an airlock or two because the auto air vents don't work very well. But like I explained to you, there's no point in going crazy on this because they've already got a big enough bill with the minimum we're doing, because obviously we're going to change spoiler, aren't we? What do you think we're going to fit here, hopefully?
A Sapphire.
Combi, because we love them. Do we love them, Ryan?
I haven't done one yet.
I know, but do you love sapphires?
I love sapphires, so I'm going to love the Combi, I'm sure.
And Jack, you know nothing, but you're going to love them, aren't you?
I love sapphire.
He loves the sapphire. Have you ever seen the sapphire?
Yeah, once or two.
Yeah, we've seen one in a box probably. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so that's where we're at. We'll give it 20 minutes. We'll come back to you. That's it. That's this week's YouTube vlog. Cha-hing! That's a good one. Done from us at Button All Burner Services, and I hope you enjoyed it. And what can I say about that job? Not very easy. So normally with a Grunt Combi, you just take them all to pieces. Yes, you have a bit of corrosion sometimes, but normally I can get through it. And then you put it all back together and hey presto, it's job done. It's not often you have blown fuses, sometimes you do, but normally they pop an RCD in the house. They don't actually pop the one in the board. I've had it a few times before, but it's not that common. But as you can see from that one, that was a Grunt Blue Flame that's 8 years old. It's absolutely appalling. We've only been to it once, but a very few times before. I think we've done a control box on it, and I think we've done maybe, I want to say, a flow switch as well at some point, but apart from that we've not been near it. So yeah, that is it. That was a bit of a pain, but they are going to have a new boiler. We're hoping a Sapphire, because we love a Sapphire, but if not, then they might pick a Firebird, possibly a Garant, something like that, but we'll see. Please feel free to subscribe as always, because we love subscribers, and obviously comments. We love a comment. Thank you for everyone that comments as always, and I do get back to you all, even if it is a few weeks later. So that's it. What's the weekend going to be like, Isabel, for you? Sunny?
I think.
Nice?
I think so.
Going out partying?
I hope so.
Maybe. You might be doing history or something, mightn't you?
Yeah.
Something like that. Me, I'll be decorating or some sort of DIY or playing with my truck, one or the other. There we go. Anyway, have a great weekend everyone, and as always, stay safe.